राधा राधित राधेशा राधिका प्राणवल्लभा राधा रमणा वन्दे त्वं राधिका प्रेम निर्जितः। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaste Haribol Radhe Radhe. Welcome to the Science of Krishna. Chapter 2, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Divinity and Divine Service. Shuta Goswami, the son of Roma Harshana, being fully satisfied by the perfect question of the Brahmanas, thanked them and thus attempted to reply. In the previous episode, we saw that how the sages of Naimisharanya, they inquired from Shuta Goswami some questions, and Shuta Goswami said, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the great sage Shukadev Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all, when he went away to take up the renounced order of life sannyas, leaving home without undergoing reformation by the sacred thread or the ceremonies observed by the higher caste, his father Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, 'O my son, indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the begrieved father. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience.' I just now recorded the video for Positive Hindi, and in that I shared this beautiful example that how when a camel, he chews on thorny twigs, he liked the flavor of his own blood mixed with it. He doesn't know that what he is tasting is his own blood. Just like that, we are so accustomed to this material life that we are forgetting our spiritual existence. And this reminds us that there is no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy, because no materialistic creature, neither ant nor Brahma himself, can be happy. Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. And this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the cream of commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. It is fit for Gyanis to understand. Before reciting this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nar Narayan, Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Why am I reading this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is because questions related to Shri Krishna are soul satisfactory. Why? Because Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says that Krishna is our intimate master, friend, father or son, and object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. We cannot live for a moment without being questioned or without giving answers. Because the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading and hearing this transcendental literature. One should learn the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and make an all-round solution to all problems pertaining to social, political, or religious matters. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are the sum total of all things. The supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. The general tendency of any ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. Even in the Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement of material gain is offered, and most people are attached by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. Why are such so called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can fulfill one's desires, which in turn satisfy sense gratification. This cycle of occupational engagements includes so called religiosity followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men, but in the statement of Shruta Goswami, as per the verdict of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this is nullified by the present shlok. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. Life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non dual substance Brahma, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. So, whatever and whenever we learn from our scriptures, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, it teaches us to realize the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead Shri Hari, and not just by reading, by simple reading, we are taking help of one of the pillars of bhakti. By reading about Shri Krishna, by hearing about Shri Krishna, by chanting about Shri Krishna, what are we doing? We are loving Shri Krishna. And from my personal experience, I would say that the more one reads, talks, chants about Shri Krishna, the more one falls in love with Shri Krishna, and that is the supreme purpose of this human clothing. To love Shri Krishna, to render devotional service to Shri Krishna, bhakti. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. And we know that remembering Shri Krishna is the sole purpose of our life and it should be carried out by all means. Therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees, Deena Dayal. He is Deen Dayal. He is the protector of his devotees. He is protector of the meek. With sword in hand, intelligent man cut through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma, by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. I would say the more anxious we get to attain God, he gets even more anxious to have us back in his kingdom of love. And only through serving him we can attain his love, we can attain him. So this doesn't mean that worshipping him, let's say in the form of deities, and then discarding his creatures. No. Respect, kindness, and love for all. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. In material existence, a living being creates his own chain of fruitive work and enjoys the good and bad effects of those actions life after life. But as soon as he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord, he at once becomes free from the chain of karma. His actions no longer create any reaction. So, for anyone who is wondering that how to cut the ties of the karma, the karmic bond, it's simple. Just do all the actions for the happiness of Shri Krishna. And this is what Shri Krishna has self-proclaimed in Śrīmad Bhāgavad Gita, that when we give all our actions at his lotus feet, the reactions, he takes care of it. Certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, He accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So the fight over Shiva is greater than Vishnu and vice versa is over because they are same. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of quality of goodness. Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood. And fire is still better, for by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, rajas, is better than ignorance, which is tamas, but goodness, sattva, is best because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth. Previously, all the sages rendered service unto the personality of Godhead due to his existence above the three modes of material nature. They worshipped him to become free from material conditions and thus derive the ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. But you know what a devotee desires? Not even liberation from the material world. A devotee of the great Lord desires association of the devotees of the great Lord so that he can chant more and more, he can hear more and more, he can remember his great Lord more and more. That's the purpose of his life. So all glories to the great devotees of the great Lord. Jai Shri Hari. Those who are serious about liberation are certainly non-envious and they respect all. Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly forms of the demigods and worship only the all blissful forms of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portions. Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance worship those in the same category, namely the forefathers, other living beings, and the demigods who are in charge of cosmic activities, for they are urged by a desire to be materially benefited with women, wealth, power, progeny. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has directed us to have no desire for women, wealth, fame, name, nothing. Just Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam. Only and only and only taste for the sweet Lord's sweet name. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please him. Yoga is for realizing him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by him only. He is supreme knowledge and all severe austerities are performed. So whatever austerity is done is to please Lord Vishnu. All the sacrifices, yagyas are to please him. Religion, dharma, is rendering loving service unto him. He is the supreme goal of life. Again and again, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is highlighting the fact that it is Shri Krishna only whom we have to please. It is Shri Krishna only whose name we have to chant. Why? So that our heart becomes cleaner and the God's name cleanses our heart. In the beginning of the material creation, the absolute personality of Godhead, Vasudev, in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and effect by his own internal energy. After creating the material substance, the Lord Vasudev expands himself and enters into it. And although he is within the material modes of nature and appears to be one of the created beings, he is always fully enlightened in his transcendental position. And we know that Shri Krishna is always transcendentally awakened in his position, because when we see that in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, when he is telling Arjun about all that he is, he remembers even the past, he knows the present, and he is familiar of what will happen in the future. But on the other hand, Arjuna had no clue of his past, doesn't know where he is going. So taking direction from Shri Krishna. So Shri Krishna knows past, present, future. He has created everything. He lives in everything. He is within and without. The Lord, as super soul, pervades all things, just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears as of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. There is nobody who is equal to or greater than Shri Hari. The super soul enter into the bodies of the created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. So one can say that 84 lakh species of living beings, from Brahma to an ant, we are all enjoying. Why are we here and why are we enjoying or suffering? Because of our own material desires. Whatever we think of at the time of death, we get that in our next life. So whatever we will practice throughout the life, we'll remember only that at the time of death. If one has not prepared anything for the exam, how can he excel in the exam? So we need to prepare for the exam called death. So this process of reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this process of loving Shri Krishna, chanting his name, naming our children after Shri Krishna, so that, let's say, I am remembering my son at the time of death, but if he is having Shri Hari's name and I am saying Hari Om at the time of my death, I am thinking of Shri Hari. So we have to prepare ourselves in a way that we are constantly living with Shri Krishna. And when we are living with Shri Krishna, there is no way we can forget Shri Krishna at the time of death. And even if we forget him at the time of death, he will remember, and he remembers, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men, and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. This concludes the second chapter of first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and it makes me happy that how slowly we are progressing. We have so many more chapters to read, and I'm so excited because the next chapter is about Shri Krishna, the source of all incarnations, which will take next week on Wednesday. And more or less this is for me because I wasn't finding time to read Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So here I am reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. May Shri Hari bless me. May Shri Hari bless us all with his great sweet love. Let me know how you are finding the reading sessions of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. I am thoroughly enjoying the sweet nectar. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Granth Mahapurana ki jai. I hope we all grow in our devotion for Shri Hari. I'll see you next Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify. Till then, keep on chanting, keep on glorifying our sweet Lord Shri Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namaste, Hari Bol, Radhe Radhe.